Are you ready to see the best and only Baldur's Gate 3 tier list that ever hit the internet? And there is no other video to check out because YouTube exclusively only loves mine. You should stay tuned. Check out my list. Subscribe. This is definitely the very first and only tier list for Baldur's Gate 3 on all of YouTube. Nobody else has it. Don't even look for it. If you saw this, it is because it was meant to be, and this is the only one you need to ever see because it's the only one that's out there, and I stand by that. Just kidding now. There's a lot of them out there. It has been played out, and I understand, guys, but we're about to play it out one more time because you need to know what my personal opinions are of all these characters. And so I am going to rank them, see if you agree with them. My guess is you probably won't. And just like any good adventurer, I guess I'm going to start from left to right. And our very first candidate up is Gale. Now, most of you would either rank Gale an S or a B. Their people don't like how squishy he is, or they love how he has access to all spells that are wizard related, and that makes him utility wise incredible. I'm going to say he is an A. Okay? I love Gale, and I bring him into any fight that I have that's going to deal with large number of enemies because the AoEs alone are awesome. But he's squishy, and if he doesn't have any more spell slots, he becomes a liability really fast. So he goes into A. As far as the story goes, great story. Fantastical story. Next up is Halsin. I know there's so many people out there that love the idea of hooking up with a bear, and they would be furious of what I'm going to rank him as. But because of my first playthrough, no didn't mean no with this guy. This dude's going C. He is going 100% C, and I'm not changing it, and nobody can convince me otherwise. I'm not a huge fan of druids, and just not my favorite. And right beside him goes Jaheira. Is going on there because rangers are mid. I hate to say it, guys. They are the utility knife that's dull, where Gale is a utility knife that can adapt to almost all situations. Rangers aren't that way. They do a lot of different things, but they don't do any of them masterfully. We've got Karlach, and I'm going to place Karlach. Just kidding. She's totally going on A. She is a tank. She is a beast. You gotta have her in your party at different parts, in my opinion. The fact that she can just absorb so much damage, and she's not a bad damage dealer herself. I love her story. Her story is amazing. I think a lot of people pick her for a love interest simply just because of her personality. She's got a fantastic personality. I will say what gets her definitely an A, outside of just not being able to do AoEs and not be able to really control the environment to help you, and a lot of times, even though she does have a good shove. Dude, have you seen the love scene? Don't like that. Not a fan of that one. Alright, next up is Lae'zel. And Lae'zel is the least favored party member of all of Baldur's Gate. Everybody checks the rankings. You can go look at them. Most people would go with D. I'm not most people, though. When it comes to dealing out damage, she's a beast. But also because she has battle tactics and you can be able to control the field a lot more. I really feel like she adds a lot of depth. She can take good hits, so she's a tank herself. She is able to deal out a lot of damage. She has a fantastic storyline. Basically, the entire story is about her people. So I'm a Lae'zel fan, and Lae'zel was my first love interest the first game round because of a drunken night and a party at the end of Act 1. Spoiler alert! Somebody's going to throw themselves at you, and this dude took her up on that offer the first time. Alright, next up is Minsc. I am going to place him B. He's probably the character I've played with the least amount, and I think he's a returning character from previous in the series. A lot of people, I feel like, elevate him way too high simply because of his pet. If you're not impressed with a pet hamster, he's okay. He's okay. So he's going B rank. Next up is Minthara. Minthara, in my opinion, is S class. And I managed to save to have her and the rest of my party members this last playthrough, minus Astarion. We're not going to talk about that. Minthara, smiting is so useful. Laying on hands is useful. She is an incredible player, and if you missed her on any of your playthroughs and you haven't played with her yet, you absolutely need to. 100%. Her storyline's good. She always teeters that line depending on your playstyle. On my playstyle, I rescued her, and there's a little bit of redemption you can see going on with her, but also she's still very cruel and to like how the Drow really think, and I think it adds a great level of story. Next one up, if you've watched any of my Baldur's Gate videos, any of my live streams, there is no other choice. Shadowheart starts with an S for a reason, and she 100% goes to S tier. Fantastic story. You can make her into an incredible tank. Right now, she has the highest hit points and the highest armor class, but not only that, she gets AoE attacks. You got things like Spirit Guardians. You got spiritual weapons, so you can send additional weapon distance-wise, have it play on your turn, and it attracts enemies, and she is phenomenal. I went with Light Domain, so I've got Fireball from that. Shadowheart, in my personal opinion, if we had to pick a ranking system, it would be Shadowheart first as the best companion in the entire game. Sorry to spoil it for you. Alright, my next one is going to be Wyll. I'm giving Wyll A class. I think Wyll's story is super engaging. I think he does a phenomenal job as far as individual damage goes. If you play him like a Blaster Warlock, he is going to Eldritch Blast everything in sight, and you add pushing to it, and it makes it comical, and it's just amazing. I love the storyline with his dad. Here's another one that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of fans out there, and I don't apologize, because y'all are lusty, and that's the reason why you ranked him so high. Our rogued friend Astarion, in my personal opinion, is a B. I don't think any of the characters fall in D class. I really don't. There are going to be somebody, if you forced me to put somebody in there, I would put Jaheira in there. But I don't think Jaheira is the D level. I really don't. I don't even think on this list it should exist, but it does. If you force me, you twist my arm, Jaheira goes down to D. Then you got Halsin at C, Minsc and Astarion at B class. You've got Gale, Karlach, and Wyll at A class, and you got Lae'zel, Minthara, and the best that has ever been, Shadowheart, in S class. That's my personal opinion, because usually these should be complete opposite. It should probably be more like this. Honestly, it should be more like this in most people's eyes. Of course, they're going to disagree with what I think on this, but they would probably do theirs, they rank her higher, move her down, and they would probably have it something like that. But that's not how I feel about it. So there's my unique view on the Baldur's Gate tier list. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said before, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and leave a comment on your ranking system. And if you think I am just completely out there and missed the point, that's fine too. Leave that comment. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Remember, it's okay to be awesome. You are awesome. Go show the world you're awesome. See you later.